Welcome to Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm here with one of your viewers, Mr. John Clifford. We're here in the sunny island of Tenerife in the Bell Bar. We've got a number of people in here, and thanks very much to the owners again, to John, Kate, for letting us to record in here. But obviously we're here today to talk about Celtic's game against Hearts. Tynecastle tonight, 8:15 kick-off, bit weird for a Saturday night. But how are you, John?
I'm great, it's amazing with the sunshine. It's weird.
Aye.
But it's great to have Celtic back. 2 weeks with no football is brutal, especially the international football. It's not been that great until the last couple of games, but I'd rather talk about Celtic in Scotland anyway.
Aye, no, it is a long time between international breaks as well, so it is hard to adjust back to the way of domestic football again, but that's fine. So there's Susan Clifford on as well. Hi guys. If you've got any questions about anything Celtic related or anything you guys want to put in, feel free to put in. So on to tonight's game, John. How do you see Hearts being tonight? How I know they've obviously not had a great start in the season, sitting second bottom in the league, and not in the best vein of form. But new manager bounds basically. Obviously Stephen Naismith leaves. New manager comes in. They've looked slightly better than they have earlier in the season. Do you see them being an issue tonight, or will top form Celtic be able to brush them aside?
I think it's going to be par for the course tonight. Celtic will win. I actually can't see it being a tough game. Everybody's got their own opinions. Mine's is, I think we'll squish it. We're just too strong in every department. Hearts will not be able to live with us. I've been wrong before, no doubt I'll be wrong again, but people say Hearts are in a false position, but I don't buy that. They're second bottom of the league for a reason. They've only won 2 games. They've beat St Mirren and St Johnstone. I know you say you're a new manager and you normally get a new manager bounce, as you say, but it will be difficult. It's normally a bit sluggish after the 2-week break for international football, but the way Celtic are, just building momentum constantly, I can't see there being an issue. There's 2 things football is amazing, it's like continuity, winning or retreat, confidence and momentum are major things in every level of football, and Celtic's going in spades at the moment. And I called it like 4-6 weeks ago, and I heard the boys talk about it the other night. I can only see who's going to beat us in Scotland.
I think it is the case. If Celtic are on their absolute pomp and playing at the best of their ability, do we see anybody being able to match that level of play that we've got? And it's going to be hard to see anybody match us. I know that over the course of a season we can have off days, we can maybe have games that we're not playing at we're optimum, but I think if we turn up most of these games, it might sound slightly too confident, but I think we turn up most of these domestic games and we're brushing teams aside. And I'm hoping tonight it's not any different. We have spoken about, obviously, Hearts are going through a bit of a time at the present. Obviously the Hearts the last couple of years has been a lot more impressive, and that's shown again with a couple of European runs as well. So they've qualified for European competitions. So it's always a hard place to go as well. Tynecastle, obviously you've been in Tynecastle yourself. You know what the stadium's like. It feels like the fans are right on top of the pitch at the players. John can't hear you.
Hello, testing.
I don't say hello twice in this podcast, mate. Right. You can let us know if you can hear John's. I was pretty sure that the mics were both on, but you can let us know, guys. Back to the game, and I can see us winning pretty comfortably tonight. I know it is a kind of difficult place to go, as I was saying. The football pitch, the fans are right on top of it. It can be a kind of hostile atmosphere with Hearts. But I just think that the quality we've got in depth, the amount of strength we've got in depth coming off the bench, our starting lineup, whoever that may be, I just think that we've got too much for. Let's slow down. I just think we've got too much for most teams in the league, and I don't see that being any differently. How do you think Brendan will approach this game tonight? Do you think it'll just be the exact same as the way we've been playing domestically, John?
I think obviously it's maybe 12, 13 players away in international duty. Some of them didn't play a lot of minutes, but they're travelling and that does affect people. It definitely does, especially boys that travel to Ireland or want to come back and not playing any minutes. But when they're away, they're not doing any hard training, they're just topped up. And whatever country they're with, that manager's just putting his slant on the way he wants to play. Totally different from club football. But what I would say about Hearts is the reason they're not doing as good this year, the talisman Shanklin's only scored one goal this season.
Right, we've got a few comments here, guys. And let's say Ryan Clifford, morning. JP, morning both of yous. I'm glad that kind of sunshine rather than the snow back home, so all the best, guys. Aye, ching ching. So, and JPC used to look like you're cuddling this morning.
Not
Don't need to cuddle here because it's that warm that we've got that heat. You might need a wee bit of body friction back home with that kind of cold weather, so I'll leave that up to you guys. Well, aye, if you put that, if you put it up here. Aye, right. Morning, nice and snowy here, Kaiser. Morning, Kaiser. Hope you're very well, mate. As I say, it's just I think it's 30, 31 degrees. It's 30, 31. Aye, so it's pretty warm here. No sign of snow anywhere. So, aye, we're looking forward to the game tonight, and I'll be over the Hoots Bar watching that game tonight, and look forward to it in some nice sunshine. -9 in Ibrox for months. Aye, they're spot on. When we're ready to come home. We're not coming home. We're not coming home. We're cuddling now. Right, aye. So when we're moving on to tonight's game, how do you see it? How do you see us, as we say, how do you see it setting up before the mic issue? How do you see it setting up?
As I said, probably the major reason Hearts haven't done as well this year is the talisman Shanklin's only scored one goal all season, where the last 2 years he's scored approximately 60 goals, which is absolutely phenomenal in the Scottish League. A great record. He's not hitting the target, so they're always going to struggle because there's a big drop off between him and the rest of the players with the amount of goals they score. But I think it doesn't matter about Hearts, it's all about what we do. As you said, strength and depth is absolutely phenomenal at Celtic at the moment. Are you really weakening the team when you bring the subs on? I don't really think so. I just think we've got too much for these teams, far too much. I think we can play at 70% and still win games pretty comfortably, even with an intimidating atmosphere at Tynecastle.
It'll be interesting to see how this team sets up because obviously we don't know a great deal about the new manager. We don't know the kind of style of football that he's going to play. But most of the times that we play Hearts, John, especially at Tynecastle, their fans demand them to kind of attack the likes of kind of Celtic Rangers. So. But I think that kind of plays into your hands. I think if a team does that, they open themselves wide open to getting absolutely annihilated. So I welcome that kind of approach with Hearts. I hope to God that they do approach the game. Yeah, because for us, I just think we've got quality players that can just pick these guys off. I think our press is kind of obviously far superior. So for me, I hope they don't kind of park the bus too much. I hope they come out, and I think their fans probably will demand them to have a go because they do consider themselves probably the third force, and kind of I know it's not materialised so far this year, but they do consider themselves the third force. So for them to kind of park the bus against the likes of kind of Celtic or the other side across the water, I just don't think their fans will accept that, which I'm looking forward to tonight, because if that happens, I could see us kind of opening them up,
Aye.
make that a bit messy.
If the place is rocking and Hearts are going, try to push and go forward, I think it suits us to the ground, because we've got midfielders that can obviously spot them wide open. Hattati, Engels, McGregor all get the ability to pick passes out to players in the final third, and the pace they've got. Absolutely, I'd love to see Hearts have a go, because there's nothing worse than watching a team parting the bus into them. It's horrible, it's disgusting. But I just can't see a problem. I think it's all going well at the moment. As I said, Hearts only pulling up any trees at the moment.
Yeah. No,
It can only go one way for me.
I hope so. And I think, personally, I thought the international break came at probably the right time. We are getting games kind of thick and fast constantly. We're getting kind of 2-3 games a week. So I think that the international break came at the right time, because you look at the last game we got the win, but it wasn't really prime Celtic performance that we've seen. And I think just that time to kind of reset. Some players have had a break. You've seen some of the photos we spoke about earlier. They've been away on holiday, Dubai, etc. Some of the players have been on international break. But I just think that kind of time to rejuvenate, kind of reset again, and it's going to be a very busy schedule coming up. I'm sure it's like 7 games in the next 22 days, I'm sure. So it's going to be a very busy period, and it's all different competitions. We've got our domestic with the league. You've got the League Cup final, and we've got some very important Champions League games coming up as well. So we need the squad to be at the absolute optimum just now, and I do believe we'll start tonight with a win as well. We'll just pick up with some comments just now. Lucky Voodoo, snow everywhere, your boys jealous as. So, no, no need to be jealous. Go on Skyscanner, jump a wee flight or you can sit here. Aye, Kaiser, I'm noticing, I don't know if there's settings that need to be adjusted with this
Just
mic.
share it.
Aye, this is the first time that I've kind of done this with this kind of setup, so trying my best, guys, so please appreciate it. That's better. So other ones as well. Take the spacing of breaks and the way BR Brendan Rodgers is attacking each section, then reviewing it is fantastic. That's a very good point, Kaiser. I think he's kind of breaking it up into mini sections of the games between. So I think it'll be interesting to see the team line up tonight. I think it will be. I think the one question probably will be the Taylor and Valle question. I think that's. I heard snippets of the boys' podcast last night, and that was one of the questions as well. I don't know who I'm going with tonight against Hearts. Would it be Taylor or Valle? I'm slightly edging towards Valle, my personal opinion. Are you going to be Taylor? So I don't think there's a lot in it. I think most of the team elsewhere that picks itself. But I think that's probably the main question that we're going to ask with this team sheet tonight. Will it be Taylor or Valle? Get your comments in, guys, and let us know what your thoughts are on that. Francis Lester, good friend of the podcast. Morning, boys. Hearts will set up not to take a hiding. You could be right, mate. They know they are losing goals and games and not scoring at the other end. I think this could be a totally different Tynecastle game. I'll be interested to watch. As I say, we've not got a great deal of information regarding this new manager. We've seen snippets of him. I watched them against that against Rangers the other week.
And they probably should have
got something out of the game. So, aye, I don't. A lot of the time you do get that kind of new manager bounce. Players are trying to kind of impress the new manager. Players try to kind of up their game slightly because they know they're kind of fighting for new contracts, fighting for a team in the place, a place in the team. So it will be interesting. I just think the kind of thoughts that Hearts fans have got, that they will insist that their team go forward. Aye, Valle, Aaron, like Taylor. It's good. I would two great ones.
What about centre of defence? CCV's had 3 weeks,
Well,
which is
I Ryan, he's got skills locked up in that basement again.
so
So,
he's not getting
so it'll
out.
be. I'm pretty sure it would be
Two
CCV and
Americans.
the American Dream Team tonight. So I would think. So if we want to go with lineups just now, get them in. You can get them in the comments as well, guys. What you think? But personally, go to my lineup just now. My prediction.
Strongest team possible.
I think it will be. I'm going with Casper goals. I think it'll be Alistair Johnston, Carter Vickers, Trusty, Valle slightly, but I think that's the one that could be 50-50. Then I think the centre midfield, although we've got a lot of kind of strength and depth there, we've got a lot of players that are kind of pushing to get in there. I personally believe that our strongest three is Cal McGregor, Arnie Engels and Rio Tati. So personally for me, I think that's the strongest kind of team that we could put out. And then I think up top kind of pitch itself. I know there might be people maybe kind of thinking if Adamida would play in this kind of game. I doubt it. I think your top it will be Dyson Maida, Nicholas Kuhn and Kyogo. And I'm going to predict a 3-0 win for Celtic. What about you, John? What's your prediction, your team lineup?
The team's the exact same apart from the left back. I think Taylor will play. Taylor was away with Scotland for a couple of weeks, 10 days, whatever. Didn't get any minutes, which I'd rather he did get some minutes just to keep the legs going as such. I would like to have played some part. It's the strongest part of Scotland's side, maybe, possibly, if Kieran Tierney's also available. The left side's very strong. But for me, I think Taylor's going to play. Him and Valle have got different attributes, which is fantastic, having two different players with lots of different attributes, which you do need. But for me, with Taylor's experience, I think he's going to play. But also,
it's one of the ones. I think either way, there's got to be people you're not going to be surprised either way. I think the two players, they do offer a lot to that kind of position, and I think we're pretty happy that we've got that kind of backup now left back. I think it's looking like a fairly strong kind of position for our team now.
Aye. But also you've got so many options, especially midfield. Powell and McCowan. I wouldn't be surprised if they played as well because they've got the quality.
Who do you think midfield?
To play. Aye. No, I'm just going Engels, McGregor, and Hitati all day long. I
personally think that's probably the strongest. But as I say, the guys that have come in, they've not done themselves any harm.
No.
When you've looked at how well kind of Luke McCowan's done when he's had a
performed
limited amount of time.
He's had a chance. Aye.
He's had a limited amount of time, and I think he's performed very well during that. And he's had a lot of people asking, should he be getting more game time? I personally think he's maybe he's maybe low at that level of kind of Hitati or Engels, but I think £1 million for Dundee for him. Not I mean, I think he's a very, very shrewd bit of business.
Exactly, shrewd signing. That's the words I was going to say. If Luke McCowan played, it wouldn't surprise me. But looks at he's got the ability to just come in and play domestic games, even against the side across the border. I wouldn't have any hesitation putting him in against anybody in Scotland.
Then you look at as well, Paulo Bernardo. It's with the youth at kind of Portugal. He's a captain. It's under 23s, under 21s. It's one of them. But he's captain, scored goals, and we all know how kind of well thought of that Portugal is a football nation. Portugal always kind of produce very good young players, and for Paulo Bernardo to be held in that esteem, to be kind of the captain of that squad, and to be contributing with playing and scoring goals. I think Paulo Bernardo maybe next year. I think he's going to play a lot as a squad player this year, but when the likes of kind of maybe Hitati moves on, I think Bernardo's going to fit in there because we're already having discussions who you'd have in the team earlier in the season. It was either Bernardo or Hitati. For me, I think Bernardo's going to improve massively over time working with Brendan. I
think he's grown into be a really good Celtic player. I don't mind the fact he's just dipping in and out, but when he does play, I think he contributes fantastically to the team. his work rate's fantastic, isn't it, in the middle? It's a bit of,
Aye.
it's similar, I think, to Petrov. A bit of workhorse like that, up and down, a wee bit of physicality about him as well, which I think we all know that we lack a bit of physicality, don't we?
Aye. So it's going to be hard to kind of displace A3 back as well.
Aye, aye.
That's
But they're
basically
not going to play all the time. It's
Aye.
impossible. Impossible.
You're going to see a lot of kind of squad rotation as well.
Aye.
As we mentioned earlier, the amount of kind of games that we've got coming kind of thick and fast over the next wee while.
When's the next international break?
Next international break is
January,
not till
February?
March.
March, that's
So we've got a good run in it, but
Aye.
mind we've no kind of winter break this year,
Aye.
and we the amount of kind of Champions League. Obviously, we've got games in the Champions League running into January as well. So it's going to be a long season with a lot of games, and we need to make sure that these players are they'll be contributing all over the place, because there's no way that the same players can play kind of 7 games in the space of
3 games in 7 days, kind of. Aye.
So it is. We're going to need to call on that squad. Do I think tomorrow will be? I doubt. Tonight, I mean, I doubt that that's going to be. I think we'll play our strongest first 11. I do think that guys like McCowan and Bernardo will contribute
Well,
from
have
off
to
the bench.
contribute. Aye, definitely.
I do think they will come off the bench and they will play a part in the game. But for me, I just see that we have got a very strong starting 11. And I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be too strong for Hearts.
Could Brendan throw a spanner in the works and play James Forrest after getting his new contract?
Oh, we're going to
There
touch
you go.
upon that. I doubt it. I admire James Forrest so much. I think he's getting kind of legendary status within Celtic. The amount of
24 trophies.
trophies, accolades, the length of time that he's had with the
Scoring
club.
every season
Yeah.
he's been there.
Assists, yeah. Is it 100 goals and 100
100
assists?
goals, 100 assists minimum. Aye.
So you've got to really, really appreciate what James
service.
Forrest, the service, and what he's contributed to the club. I think it's been massive. He's at that kind of stage that his career's possibly winding down. He's still got a lot to offer. I think he will be a good squad player. But it's at that time in his career that it's starting to wind down. Only time will tell if it's been a good bit of business to give him a new contract. But for me, the level of service that James has given us, I think he definitely deserves to have the chance of that contract anyway. What's your thoughts on it?
You've got to earn a contract. I don't think you just get given them, especially at a club like Celtic. You've got to earn it, but there's a lot of things in it. He's part of the homegrown quota for Europe. He's obviously trusted by Brendan that, he's not going to play a lot of games. James might be happy just coming in and play every 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Substitute appearances. Every club needs somebody like that, to be fair. There is players like that in every club that don't play games constantly. They just come in and out. Tony Ralston, for example. Yeah. Stephen Welsh has done it in the past, just coming in and out when required. But I think James will be delighted with it, because the government doing away with the winter fuel allowance, I think it'll be so much appreciated. But we don't do politics on here.
Oh, we don't. No. So, Ryan's put in a question. Alan and John, what do you feel about the club getting Brendan tied down as soon as possible, or asking the question early? What's your thoughts on that, John?
Absolutely. When the job became available, he was for me anyway, he was the best person available for the job. He was unemployed, he wasn't at another club, didn't have to pay money to get him out of contract anywhere else. Yes, for me, he probably is the highest paid person at Celtic Park. I'd imagine Cal Mack's the highest paid player, but for me the manager should always be the highest paid person. Are you going to get better on him?
No.
Are you? So you would want to keep him as long as possible. I think his signings have been very good. I think he's totally respected by the players. and obviously the fans are united with him as well. So sections of the fans kind of fell out with him, but I think they're all on board now, and it's. I would obviously, Brendan's wanting. He might not want to stay longer than 3 years. As a
That's my
coach,
thoughts as well, yeah.
his education, he's always looking to improve, always looking to learn. Could he move to Spain? He's got a house, etc. Speaks a lingo. It wouldn't surprise me if he'd done something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we need to, in all realisation, we need to realise that Brendan's only come back to Celtic because he's got a connection with the club,
Yes.
because he's a fan of the club, right? We wouldn't be able to attract a manager of that calibre if he didn't have that connection with the club, in my opinion. I think that's the only reason. When you're talking a guy that's managing the Premier League to a very high level,
Yes.
myself, JP, Ryan have discussed it numerous times that we do believe that he's an elite level manager. So, do I think Brendan will stay longer? I think he might, but I think this is one that is going to kind of linger on, because I think Brendan will probably leave it up to that time to make his mind up. He's here by choice. He probably could get job offers
Aye,
elsewhere.
absolutely.
Get job offers, like you mentioned, on the continent, back down south, but he's here by choice. So I think we need to kind of go for at least 3 years with the sound there. Hopefully it stays for longer, because having a manager at that level at a club can only be beneficial. So we'll need to kind of. I think this is one that's going to go on for a wee while. I don't think he would. I don't see him signing a new contract at the minute, but that's no saying that he'll not stay either. I think he's probably pretty relaxed about what's going on at present.
He's probably wanting to build a team in Europe as well, which he's been quoted as saying before. But are you going to do that in 3 years? I don't think so. I don't think that's long enough. It's going to take a while for him to put his stamp on it, and he obviously changed the way he played over in Italy. I'd love him to sign a new contract, because
I
also
definitely would as
what I
well.
would hate is for him to stay the 3 years and go away for nothing.
Aye.
If he signs another contract for another, say, 2 years on top of that, you're going to get some money if he gets lured away by a Premier League club or whatever. But even last season, when we were playing poor, we were getting results, playing poor. Some fans weren't happy with him. I was always under the impression it's going to come good.
Aye.
It's always going to come good with him. I can't.
I think it was more when his bringing his players in as well. Some of them just making that wee minor difference. Obviously during the summer, he's added more of his own players, but when you're looking at kind of when he first started, do you really believe that kind of Mike Narowski, Lager Bielka, Lewis Palmer, well, are these guys Brendan's
Young.
players? Aye, exactly. I don't believe these guys are Brendan's players. So you're looking at the January window, there was a few changes, and then the summer, so you're starting to see basically Brendan's team now, and you're seeing these guys that obviously he didn't want, that are starting to be phased out of the team, and that just takes me on to one of the next comments, which everybody's got opinions, right? So title to your opinion, but what about Palmer? Does he get a chance after his international exploits? It's a simple no for me. I'm not disputing that Palmer is he's a talented footballer, but his attitude stinks on me. Honestly, and I'm not saying that lightly. I think just when his attempts to kind of run back,
No working hard enough.
no working hard. It's just the basics of football. What we expect for a Celtic team. What we expect for a Celtic player, the minimum we expect is to give 110%, is to absolutely make sure that you leave everything out in that park. You might not be the most talented player in the world, but make sure you're putting in that effort. For me, and sometimes when I've watched Palmer, he's really infuriated me with watching him just kind of that wee smile and
Aye. I
So
just shrugs it off. Well, I don't care what players do in international duty. I don't think that Brendan kind of looks at that. It's what they do at Celtic, it's what counts.
aye. What else? We'll check some comments before we finish up, guys. I seen one earlier. Where is it? Francis Lester. Are you recording in a sawmill? No, sorry guys, right. So happened there's some work. There was a bit of flooding in the toilet and the bell, so it just so happens that we heard some of the work there. So we're, we appreciate that we'll be able to record in here. So sometimes these things happen. It's never going to be perfect when you're recording for Tenerife, is it?
It's live, mate.
It's live, and we're on Tenerife, so
No lip syncing here.
I know. Would Alan and John like to join the drink along at half time with me and Dano? And he said, I appreciate the offer, Kaiser, but sadly I have my good lady wife that it's let me do this, you know, so I don't think she'd be best pleased if I just disappeared during the Celtic game, leaving her herself. So, aye, that's a thank you very much, but I don't think that'll be possible, mate. Thanks again. What else we've got? Palmer's too much a lone gunman, not a team player. No, I agree with that, Francis. It's no disputing. I think you can see some of the assists and goals that Palmer had early on in the Celtic career. You can see the guy's got ability. You can see he's got technique. Maybe low at the pace that we need as wingers to kind of beat a man. He's having to beat the man kind of 2 to 3 times, where it's somebody else that's got that kind of turn of pace can get away. So for me, I can see Palmer leaving in January. Again, it's no down on him as a player. I just think the attitude's slightly different. Maybe it's just the culture's different. What he expects for football, etc. There's obviously more passion in the real game, and is he giving his absolute all for the team when he's playing? I'm not so sure, and that's how I'd be. I don't think Palmer. I think he'll come on for the bench at times, but I think it's very solid that we've got Nicholas Kuhn and Dyson Maeda, and I think that's definitely my first choice. And Jamesy.
But they say you should never judge a player on their first appearances. They need a run in the team to judge him. I judged Palmer after 2 or 3 games, and I just didn't fancy him. Yang was the exact same. Don't fancy him. I don't think he'll ever be a Celtic player. Because he did a good 20 minutes against Leipzig doesn't mean he's a Celtic player. I can't see when he will contribute, but I just don't think he's up to it.
I can see Yang get more of a chance than Palmer. I think Brendan's shown that with some of his substitutes, bringing Yang on. Palmer's not been coming on, so
quite often.
So I think that is an area that we'll need to strengthen, maybe in January or the summer.
James will only play maybe every 3, 4 or 5 games, so you could be looking at trying to improve in that wide area. Not improve, but have other options.
So we're going to tie this up just now. Obviously the bar is getting a wee bit busier. It's Saturday afternoon with the football starting. So hopefully we'll get another wee video soon enough over. John's here for a wee while. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for everyone at the Bell for letting us kind of film in here. If you're ever on the island of Tenerife at Las Americas, popped into the Bell. It's just next to H10 Las Palmeras. You'll get a friendly face and a great pint of lager. So for us just now, thanks very much for joining me, John. And I think we're off to get a wee bit more sunshine. So hail for me, guys. And we'll speak soon. Take care. Mana hoops.